Let me ask you something. If a stranger walked up to you every morning and whispered in your ear, "You're not good enough, you'll never make it, you don't have what it takes," how long would you put up with it? A day? A week? No way. You'd shut them down immediately. But here's the truth. Some of you are letting that voice live inside your own head rent-free every single day. And the worst part, you believe it. The words you tell yourself shape your reality, not your circumstances, not your past, not even your talent. Your thoughts. Because your mind is always listening, always absorbing, always reinforcing whatever story you repeat. Tell yourself you're weak, and guess what? You'll feel weak. Tell yourself you're not ready, and suddenly every opportunity feels impossible. But flip the script. Start telling yourself you are powerful, that you are capable, that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. And watch how your world changes. Your mind is a battlefield, and the fight isn't against the world, it's against your own self-talk. Most people sabotage themselves before they even begin. They think, what if I fail? But why not ask, what if I succeed? They focus on what they lack instead of what they bring to the table. And let me tell you, your life will never outgrow the way you speak to yourself. You want more success, more confidence, more breakthroughs? Then change the conversation happening in your own head. Think about the most successful, unstoppable people you admire. Do you think they spend their days doubting themselves? No. They have moments of doubt, sure, but they don't stay there. They train their minds like a muscle. They remind themselves daily of who they are, what they stand for, and what they're capable of. They speak life into themselves when no one else will. That's the difference. That's the edge. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I don't believe it? Listen, confidence isn't something you wake up with. It's built. And the first brick is how you speak to yourself. Even if it feels fake at first, even if that little voice in the back of your head says, "This isn't true," say it anyway. Because repetition rewires your brain. The more you tell yourself something, the more your mind starts to believe it, and the more your actions follow. This isn't just feel-good advice. This is science. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and what you consistently tell it. It only knows what it's fed. Feed it doubt and you get hesitation. Feed it strength and you get courage. So start feeding it the right words. Stop tearing yourself down for things you haven't done yet and start building yourself up for what you're about to do. Because at the end of the day, it's simple. Whatever you say to yourself, you become. So make it count. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and yet most people use it against themselves. They wake up every morning and repeat the same limiting thoughts. "I'm not good enough. I don't deserve success. I'll never make it." And then they wonder why their life doesn't change. But here's the truth. Your life is a direct reflection of what you tell yourself every single day. If you want to win, if you want to break through, if you want to create the life you know you're capable of, then you have to start programming your mind for success. And it starts with the words you use. Because thoughts become beliefs, beliefs become actions, and actions create results. You want better results? Change the thoughts that are driving them. Think about it. Every successful person you see, every champion, every leader, every person at the top of their game, they all have one thing in common. They don't just hope for success. They condition themselves for it. They don't wake up and wait to feel confident. They tell themselves they are. They don't wait for proof that they're capable. They declare it before anyone else believes it. That's the difference between the people who succeed and the ones who stay stuck. It's not luck, it's not magic, it's mindset. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, but I don't feel like I'm successful. I don't feel like I'm confident. Guess what? Doesn't matter how you feel. You don't wait for feelings to take action. You take action and the feelings follow. You speak it into existence. You tell yourself, "I am strong, I am capable, I am unstoppable," every single day until your brain has no choice but to believe it. Because what you focus on expands. What you reinforce becomes your reality. And don't just say it once and expect your life to change. No, this is a daily practice. This is something you commit to, just like training your body at the gym. You wouldn't go once and expect to be in shape forever. You have to put in the reps over and over until it becomes second nature. You wake up and you declare, "Today I will show up with confidence. Today I will take one step closer to my goals. Today I refuse to let fear control me." Because when you do that, you're not just speaking words, you're reprogramming your mind. You're setting the tone for your day. You're stepping into the identity of the person you want to become. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never rewire the story they tell themselves. They let the same negative, self-defeating thoughts run their life. And if that's you, it stops now, because from this moment on, you make a decision. You decide to stop feeding yourself the narrative that keeps you stuck. You decide to speak life into your dreams, your goals, your future. You decide to show up as the best version of yourself. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Because the words you say today shape the person you become tomorrow. So choose wisely. How many dreams have you killed before they even had a chance to breathe? How many times have you let fear stop you before you even got started? You see, most people aren't held back by their circumstances, their lack of resources, or even their failures. No, they're held back by one thing: their own mind. They talk themselves out of their own potential. They let fear and doubt dictate their actions, and before they even try, they've already convinced themselves it's not possible. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Doubt is a thief. They will rob you of every opportunity, every breakthrough, every dream if you let them. But listen to me. Fear is not real. It's a story your mind creates to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable, to keep you exactly where you are. And if you listen to that voice, if you let it run your life, then you will never step into the person you were meant to be, because everything you want, everything you're capable of, exists on the other side of fear. Think about this. When you were a kid, you didn't have fear, you didn't overthink things, you didn't doubt yourself. If you wanted to do something, you just did it. But somewhere along the way, you started listening to the world. You started hearing things like, be realistic. What if you fail? What will people think? And suddenly that fearless child inside you started shrinking. But that version of you, it's still there. It's waiting for you to wake up and take back control. Because here's the thing, fear never goes away. You're never going to wake up one day and suddenly feel invincible. The people you look up to, the ones who inspire you, they feel fear too. The difference is they don't let it stop them. They feel the fear and they do it anyway. They understand that fear is just a signal that you're about to do something meaningful, something important, something that has the power to change your life. And instead of running from it, they use it. You have to start seeing fear for what it really is. A test, a challenge, a question asking, how bad do you want it? Because the ones who push through, the ones who take action despite the doubt, they're the ones who win. And you have that power inside you right now. It's not something you need to find. It's not something you need to wait for. It's already there. The only thing you have to do is decide that you're done letting fear control your life. The next time that voice creeps in, the next time doubt tries to tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes, you shut it down. You replace it with a stronger voice. A voice that says, I am more than my fear, I am stronger than my doubt. I am unstoppable. And then you take the first step, no matter how small, no matter how uncomfortable, because that step, that's the moment your life starts to change. Progress is more important than perfection. Too many of us get caught up in the idea that everything needs to be flawless before we move forward. But here's the thing, perfection is a myth. It's an illusion we chase that keeps us stuck in the same place, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. The reality is that perfect moment may never come. And if you're waiting for things to be perfect, you're missing out on the powerful opportunity for growth that progress brings. What happens when we focus too much on perfection? We procrastinate, we hesitate, we hold ourselves back, waiting for the ideal circumstances that frankly might not ever show up. The thing about progress is it's built on small steps, tiny movements that accumulate over time. Each action you take, no matter how imperfect it seems, pushes you forward. Each step is a building block, and when you look back, you'll see how far you've come. Progress doesn't need to be monumental or grandiose. In fact, the most significant progress often happens quietly in the background without any fanfare. It's the tiny changes you make daily that add up to something powerful. You don't need to solve every problem at once. You don't need to have all the answers. The goal isn't perfection, it's growth learning, and getting better one step at a time. Think about the times when you felt stuck, unsure of what to do next, or overwhelmed by the big task ahead. You probably thought that in order to make any real change, you needed to figure everything out right away. But here's the reality. Action, no matter how imperfect, creates momentum. Momentum fuels your confidence, which pushes you to take even more steps. The more you move, the more you grow. Sometimes progress comes with mistakes. And you know what? That's okay. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to adjust, to learn, and to get even better. When you're not afraid of making mistakes, you free yourself from the fear that often holds us back. You give yourself permission to try, fail, and try again. Success isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning how to navigate them and continue moving forward. But here's where things get interesting. When you embrace progress over perfection, you also start to let go of the need for validation from others. Perfectionism often comes from wanting to impress or get approval, but true progress is about personal growth and inner satisfaction. It's not about what others think or whether you meet some external standard. It's about your journey, your pace, and the changes you're making within yourself. When you realize that the only approval you need is your own, you start to move freely without the weight of external expectations. And let's not forget the power of consistency. Perfection might seem elusive, but consistency is something you can control. It's the daily effort you put in even when you don't see immediate results that will create lasting change. Small, consistent actions compound over time. If you consistently show up, keep learning, and keep doing the work, those little steps will eventually lead to massive progress. Now, let's talk about expectations. The expectation of perfection often leads to disappointment, but when your focus is on progress, you start to celebrate the small wins. You begin to appreciate the journey itself rather than only the destination. And as you make progress, you realize that success isn't a single moment, it's a continuous process. It's about the person you're becoming, the skills you're developing, and the experiences you're gaining. It's not about reaching some final point. It's about continuously improving, evolving, and pushing forward. You see, the key to overcoming self-doubt and fear is understanding that progress is enough. It doesn't matter if things aren't perfect. What matters is that you're moving. You're taking action. You're doing what you can, right here, right now. And in that action, you find your power. You gain strength in knowing that each step you take is leading you to something greater. Progress over perfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means prioritizing growth, learning, and becoming the best version of yourself. The fear of not being perfect can paralyze you, but progress frees you. Progress allows you to evolve, to refine your approach, and to keep improving. Each day is an opportunity to make small strides toward the life you want, toward the success you deserve. And when you look back at where you started, you'll realize that it wasn't about being perfect. It was about being persistent, consistent, and committed to progress. Let go of the myth of perfection, start where you are, use what you have, and take that next step forward. Progress will carry you further than perfection ever could. Resilience is not something you're born with, it's something you develop, something you build over time. And let me tell you, resilience is one of the most powerful qualities you can have. Life isn't going to be easy. It's not always going to go the way you expect it to, and there will be moments that knock you down. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that one group faces challenges while the other doesn't. It's that the resilient ones keep getting back up. They keep going no matter how many times they're knocked down. We all experience adversity, and that adversity can take many forms. Maybe you face financial struggles, or maybe you deal with a personal loss, or the weight of unexpected challenges in your career or relationships. It's easy to feel like these challenges are going to define you, like they're going to stop you in your tracks. But here's the truth. Your ability to bounce back from these moments, your capacity to adapt and keep pushing forward, is what will define you. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about how you handle it. It's about your ability to stay in the game even when it feels like everything is against you. What happens when life knocks you down? It's easy to get discouraged, to believe that the struggle is just too much to handle. But this is where you have a choice. You can choose to let those moments define you negatively, to let them keep you stuck in a cycle of disappointment and self-doubt, or You can choose to rise above them. You can choose to see the challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, to develop deeper wisdom, and to build your resilience. The reality is, challenges are not obstacles. They're the very things that make us stronger. When we face adversity, we're forced to stretch ourselves in ways we didn't think were possible. It's through those difficult times that we discover just how strong we truly are. Every setback is a chance to learn, to adjust, and to come back even stronger than before. The key is not to let the setback define your future, but to use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Life is going to test you, it's going to challenge you. But the most powerful thing you can do in those moments is to choose not to give up. You may think that resilient people are just lucky or that they don't experience fear, doubt, or pain, but that's not true. Resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about being able to face the fear, the pain, and the doubt and still choosing to take action. It's about pushing through the tough times with the belief that something better is on the other side. When you build resilience, you develop an inner strength that allows you to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. Resilience doesn't just come from facing challenges, it comes from how you respond to those challenges. It's about having a mindset that refuses to accept defeat. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize no matter how many times you fall or stumble along the way. And you'll stumble, there's no doubt about that. But what makes resilient people different is that they don't see failure as the end. They see it as part of the journey. They understand that every setback is just another step towards success. When you're in the middle of a challenge, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like it's never going to end. You might question your abilities or wonder if you're even capable of overcoming the odds. But here's the thing. Resilience is not about always feeling strong or always having the answers. It's about showing up even when you don't have it all figured out. It's about continuing to move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. And remember, resilience is not something you do alone. It's okay to lean on others when you need support. Resilient people know when to ask for help, when to rely on their network, and when to let others lift them up. There's power in community, and the people you surround yourself with can be a source of strength when things get tough. They can remind you of your capabilities when you can't see them yourself. They can offer encouragement when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Never underestimate the power of a supportive community. But resilience isn't just about weathering the storm. It's also about learning to thrive in it. Resilient people are able to find meaning and growth in the face of adversity. They look at their challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. They know that every challenge they face is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become even more unstoppable. This shift in mindset is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. When you start seeing your struggles as opportunities for growth, you start to transform your entire experience of life. Here's the secret to resilience. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about how you respond to it. Your mindset plays a massive role in how you face difficulties. You can either let them control you, or you can take control of the way you respond to them. You have the power to choose how you react. You have the power to choose whether or not you're going to rise above the situation, even when everything inside of you is telling you to quit. It's in the moments of difficulty that you have the chance to become the person you've always wanted to be. Resilience is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You build it through every challenge you face, through every obstacle you overcome. And as you continue to build that muscle, you'll find that nothing will be able to stop you. No setback will be too great. You'll face adversity with courage, with determination, and with the unshakable belief that you can and will come out stronger on the other side. The present moment holds more power than we often realize. It's easy to get caught up in the past, replaying old mistakes or reminiscing about times we wish we could relive. We might spend our time fantasizing about the future, imagining what life will be like once we achieve our goals, once everything falls into place. But here's the thing. The past is gone, and the future hasn't arrived yet. All we truly have is now. The present moment is where the magic happens, where real change begins, where we can make the choices that shape our lives. So often we get stuck in our heads worrying about what we did wrong yesterday or fearing what might happen tomorrow. We give our energy away to things we can't control, leaving ourselves depleted, distracted, and disconnected from what's right in front of us. But the present moment is all we have the power to influence. The only time you can take action is right now in this very moment. And that's where the power lies, in your ability to act in the here and now. Think about it for a second. How much time do you spend thinking about the future, trying to predict what might happen or stressing about things that may never come to pass? How many hours do you waste replaying past conversations, mistakes, or regrets, wishing you could change things you can't? When we focus too much on the past or the future, we rob ourselves of the incredible power of the present. The more you focus on what you can control in this moment, the more you'll see your life begin to shift. The present moment is the only place where transformation happens. It's where you can take the first step toward your goals, make a change, or try something new. But if you're constantly thinking about what's ahead or dwelling on what's behind, you miss the opportunities right in front of you. There's a reason why mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, is such a powerful practice. When you bring your attention to the here and now, you tap into a level of focus and energy that can propel you forward. Here's something else to consider. The present moment is where you can take ownership of your choices. Too often we give up our power by blaming our circumstances or other people for where we are in life. But the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is how you respond right now. Your actions in this moment define your future. When you choose to take action, even small steps, right now, you start building momentum that will carry you forward. But when you keep waiting for the right time or for things to line up perfectly, you're missing the opportunity to take charge of your destiny. The key to making the most of the present moment is to stop overthinking. We often talk ourselves out of taking action because we're afraid of making the wrong choice, of things not going perfectly. But here is the reality. There is no perfect moment. There is no magical time when everything will align and you'll have all the answers. What you have is now. This moment is the one that will determine the next step you take and the next one after that. The moment you start taking full ownership of today is the moment you unlock your potential. Instead of waiting for things to be just right, you start to recognize that what matters most is how you show up right now. Do you show up with intention, with focus, with belief in your ability to make a change? Do you bring your full energy to this moment, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem? The present moment is your launch pad. It's your opportunity to make an impact, to change the trajectory of your life, to create something new. When you fully embrace the power of the present, you stop worrying about what others are doing or comparing your progress to someone else's. You become laser focused on your own journey. The only competition you have is with yourself, and every day you choose to live fully in the present, you get better, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. You stop getting stuck in the trap of perfection, and you start seeing every moment as an opportunity to take action, to move forward, and to grow. So what do you need to do right now? What's the one thing you've been putting off, waiting for the perfect time to start? The perfect time is now. The present moment is where your power lies, where everything begins. You don't have to wait for tomorrow, next week, or next year to make progress. The only time you truly have is right now, so take full advantage of it. Your future will be shaped by what you choose to do in the present. What you create today determines what you'll have tomorrow. By focusing on the present, you shift your energy and focus from things that are out of your control to what you can actively influence. And that shift is what creates transformation. When you stop letting your past mistakes or future anxieties dictate your actions, you start living in a way that's truly aligned with who you are and what you want to achieve. Embrace this moment, take action in this moment, and watch as your life begins to shift in ways you never thought possible.